Ji-woo Kim stood quietly in the corner of the meeting room aboard the Harmony *. Her small frame and soft features made her look like the weakest person in the human group. She wore a simple gray assistant's uniform, and her hands were folded neatly in front of her. Most people didn't notice her, and that was exactly what she wanted. The door slid open with a soft hiss. 3 tall aliens walked in, their scaled skin catching the light. These were the Terek, a race known for their strength and war skills. Their eyes moved quickly around the room, checking for dangers. "Welcome to the Harmony *, said Commander Da-hyun Lee, stepping forward with an open hand. "We are glad to begin peace talks between our worlds." The lead Terek, War Chief Kurvak, ignored the hand. His yellow eyes scanned each human slowly. He stood nearly 7 feet tall, with armor covering his chest and arms. 2 other Terek warriors flanked him, their hands never far from the weapons at their sides. "Your security measures are minimal," Kurvak said. His voice was deep and rough. He pointed to Captain Taho Park, who stood near the commander. "Is this your only warrior?" Captain Park wore the official blue security uniform of Earth's diplomatic fleet. He stood straight, his face showing no emotion, but his eyes were alert. "Captain Park leads our security team," Commander Lee explained. "We came for peace talks, not battle." Kurvak made a sound like a laugh. "Peace is earned through strength, not words." He walked around the room, studying each human. When he reached Ji-woo, he looked down at her with clear dismissal in his eyes. "And what is this small one's purpose?" he asked, not even speaking to her directly. Commander Lee smiled politely. "Ji-woo is my personal assistant. She handles our schedules and records our meetings." Ji-woo lowered her eyes and bowed slightly, playing her part perfectly. Inside, she was counting the weapons hidden on each Terek, noting how they moved, and analyzing potential weaknesses in their armor. She had spent 3 years training specifically for this mission, learning everything about Terek biology, fighting styles, and cultural cues. "She would not last 10 seconds in combat," Kurvak said, already turning away from her. "It is good you brought actual warriors, even if few." Ji-woo caught Captain Park's eye for just a moment. A tiny nod passed between them, invisible to anyone not looking for it. They both knew the truth. Captain Park was indeed skilled, but Ji-woo was the real last line of defense, Earth's hidden weapon. As the group moved to the large meeting table, Ji-woo took her place against the wall behind Commander Lee. She pulled out a small tablet, appearing to take notes. In reality, she was scanning the Terek's vital signs through the tablet's hidden sensors. "Your ship is impressive," said Kurvak, though his tone suggested otherwise. "Though its defenses seem lacking." "The Harmony * is a diplomatic vessel," Captain Park replied. "But I assure you, it has adequate protection." Ji-woo noticed the slight tension in the Terek guards' postures. Their eyes moved too often to the ship's access panels and security stations. Something wasn't right. As the meeting continued, she watched Kurvak's right hand. 3 times it made a signal to his guards. She had studied Terek military commands extensively. This was not a peaceful diplomatic sign. When the aliens requested a tour of the ship, Commander Lee agreed happily. But as they filed out of the room, Ji-woo slipped a small device from her sleeve and placed it under the table. No one saw her do this, not even Captain Park. The device would track all conversations in this room after they left. Ji-woo had a feeling the Terek would return here without humans present, and when they did, she would know exactly what they were planning. As she followed the group out, walking meekly with her tablet, War Chief Kurvak didn't even glance at her. And that was her greatest advantage. The hunt had begun, but the Terek didn't realize they were not the hunters. 3 days had passed since the Terek arrived on the Harmony *. Ji-woo had been watching them closely. Each night, she reviewed the recordings from her hidden devices. The Terek were not being honest. They spoke of peace in meetings but war in private. Today was the day they would sign the first peace agreement. The humans had prepared a special meeting room with food and drinks from both worlds. Jiwoo moved silently around the room, setting up small cups of tea while keeping her eyes down. The small one seems well trained in service, War Chief Kurvak said to Commander Lee as they entered the room. Perhaps we could use some like her on our ships. Jiwoo noticed how his hand moved to a small device on his wrist. She had learned that this was not normal Terek jewelry. It was a signal device. Commander Lee smiled politely. Jiwoo is much more than a server. She is a valued member of our team. Captain Park stood by the door, his eyes constantly moving. He had received Jiwoo's secret reports each night. They both knew something was wrong, but they needed more proof before they could act. "Let us begin the signing," said Commander Lee, moving toward the large table in the center. Jiwoo placed a cup of tea near each seat, then stepped back to her corner. She counted under her breath. 3, 2, 1. The lights flickered. Then they went out completely. When emergency lights came on seconds later, 3 more Terek warriors had appeared in the room. They moved quickly, weapons drawn. "What is the meaning of this?" Commander Lee demanded, standing tall despite the danger. War Chief Kurvak smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "The meaning, Commander, is that your ship now belongs to the Terek Empire, as do all of you." Captain Park reached for his weapon, but froze when a Terek pressed a blade to Commander Lee's throat. "I would not," Kurvak warned. "We have already taken control of your engine room and bridge. Your crew members there are cooperating." Jiwoo kept her face scared and confused, but her mind was racing. The engine room would have Min Ji-song, their best engineer. The bridge would have Ha In-shin, their young communications officer. Both were in danger. "Why?" Commander Lee asked. "We came offering peace." Kurvak laughed. "Peace is for the weak. We came to learn about humans, and what we learned is that you are even weaker than we thought." He pointed at Jiwoo. "Look at this one, shaking with fear already." Jiwoo was indeed trembling, but not from fear. She was controlling her breathing, preparing her body. She caught Captain Park's eye. A tiny signal passed between them. Asterisk not yet asterisk. "Take their weapons," Kurvak ordered. The Terek warriors moved quickly, removing Captain Park's gun and knife. No one bothered to search Jiwoo. "What do you want?" Commander Lee asked as the aliens bound his hands. "Your ship will make a fine addition to our fleet," Kurvak said, "and your people will provide valuable information about Earth's defenses before we launch our real attack." Jiwoo dropped her teapot, drawing attention to herself. She fell to her knees, gathering the broken pieces with shaking hands. I'm sorry," she mumbled. "Leave it," a Terek warrior growled at her. "Yes, sir," she whispered, eyes down. But she had what she needed, a sharp piece of ceramic hidden in her palm. The Terek separated the humans, pushing them roughly toward the door. Kurvak grabbed Commander Lee's arm. "You will come with me to send a message to your fleet." As they were marched out, Jiwoo was pushed to the back of the line. The Terek barely looked at her. When one warrior shoved her, she stumbled dramatically, falling against a wall. "Pathetic," the warrior muttered. Jiwoo kept her eyes down, but in that brief moment against the wall, she had pressed a small button hidden in the paneling. It would lock down certain ship systems and send an alert to Earth's hidden defense network. As they were led away, Captain Park glanced back at her. His eyes asked a silent question. Jiwoo blinked once. The signal was clear. Asterisk, it's time to hunt asterisk. Jiwoo stood in the corner of the Terek command center, holding a tray of drinks. It had been 2 days since the aliens took over the ship. The humans were kept in different areas. The important ones, like Commander Lee and Captain Park, were locked in secure rooms. But Jiwoo was considered so harmless that the Terek had put her to work serving them. "More water, small one," growled Sub-Commander Rektar, not even looking at her. "Yes, sir," Ji Woo said softly, keeping her eyes down as she poured. Her hands shook slightly, making her look nervous. The Terek laughed at this. Look how she trembles. Humans are such weak creatures, one warrior said. War Chief Kurvak was looking at a map of Earth's defense systems on a large screen. Their main fleet is here, he said, pointing. We will attack from this side. Jae-woo memorized everything she saw. Her shaking hands were not from fear, but from taking mental pictures. Every bit of information would help later. The human commanders refused to give security codes, said another Terek. Kurvak made an angry sound. Bring the small female server to my quarters tonight. Perhaps seeing her suffer will change their minds. Jae-woo kept her face blank, but inside she was thinking fast. This was both a danger and an opportunity. Kurvak's quarters would have access to important systems. Yes, War Chief, the warrior replied. He looked at Ji-woo with cruel eyes. Hear that, human. You will help us tonight. Jae-woo bowed her head. Please don't hurt me, she whispered. The Terek all laughed. Later, as Ji-woo cleaned up empty cups, she passed by where Captain Park was being held. A guard stood outside his door. Ji-woo dropped a cup, making noise. Stupid human, the guard snapped. I'm sorry, Ji-woo said. As she picked up the broken pieces, she scratched a quick message on the floor with a sharp edge. The marks were small and looked like random scratches, but Captain Park would understand the code they had created before the mission. Asterisk tonight. K quarters. Reedy. Asterisk. The guard kicked her. Hurry up. Jae-woo finished cleaning and moved on. As she worked around the ship, she did the same near other rooms where humans were held. Tiny marks that looked like nothing special, but each human who saw them would know what to do when the time came. In the engine room, she saw Min-ji tied to a chair. 3 Terek were trying to make her explain how the human engines worked. Ji-woo brought them drinks. The small server again, 1 Terek said. At least this one knows her place. As Ji-woo set down the cups, she dropped a tiny metal tool near Min-ji's foot. Min-ji's eyes widened slightly, but she showed no other reaction. She understood. Throughout the day, Ji-woo learned the Terek patterns, which guards changed when, how many warriors were on the ship, where weapons were kept, what sounds the ship made when systems were working normally. Most importantly, she studied their bodies, where their scales were thickest, where they had no scales at all, how they moved when fighting, what made them sleepy after eating. When night came, 2 guards took Ji-woo to Kurvak's quarters. They pushed her inside and locked the door. The war chief sat at a desk, looking at screens. Ah, the small one arrives, he said. Jae-woo stood with her hands folded, looking scared. Please don't hurt me, sir. Kurvak laughed. I have no interest in hurting something as weak as you. You are here because your commander cares about his people. When he sees you in pain, he will talk. Jae-woo looked around the room quickly. She saw what she needed. Access panels, weapons, and a communication system. Sit there and be quiet until I call for you, Kurvak ordered, pointing to a corner. Jae-woo sat obediently. She waited as Kurvak worked. After an hour, his breathing changed. The food she had served him earlier contained a mild herb that made Terek sleepy. It wouldn't knock him out, but it would slow his reactions. Now she just had to wait for the right moment. When Kurvak turned to get a drink, Ji-woo's hand moved to her hidden ceramic shard. The hunt was about to begin. Kurvak turned his back to get a drink. Ji-woo moved quickly and silently. She did not attack him. Not yet. Instead, she slipped to his computer and inserted a tiny device she had kept hidden in her sleeve. The war chief turned back, and Ji-woo was sitting in her corner again, looking scared. He never noticed her movement. Your commander is stubborn, Kurvak said. Tomorrow we will see if he remains silent when you scream. Jae-woo lowered her head. Please, sir, I don't know anything important. That is true, Kervak laughed. You are useless except as bait. His communication device beeped. A Terek voice spoke urgently. Sir, the human prisoners are requesting food. Should we feed them? Give them the minimum, Kervak ordered. I want them weak but alive. When he finished, he pointed to a small side room. Sleep there. Guards are outside. Do not try anything foolish. Jiwu bowed and went to the small room. It was perfect. No cameras, and next to Kervak's private communication system. In the middle of the night, when the ship was quietest, Jiwu removed a wall panel. The small device she had placed on Kervak's computer had mapped the ship's systems. Now she connected wires from the communication array to a small transmitter hidden in her clothes. She tapped a quick message in Earth's emergency code. Asterisk Harmony taken. Terek plan invasion. 28 warriors on board. Crew alive. Need extraction asterisk. The message sent, but as she replaced the wall panel, it made a small sound. Jiwu froze. Heavy footsteps approached. The door opened, and a Terek guard stood there, yellow eyes narrow with suspicion. What are you doing, human? He demanded. Jiwu backed against the wall. I had a bad dream. I was scared. The guard looked at the wall panel. It wasn't perfectly aligned. Move away, he ordered, drawing his weapon. Jiwu knew her cover was in danger. She had to make a choice. Let him discover her message and ruin everything, or show some of her skills. As the guard reached for the panel, Jiwu moved. Not with her full speed, but faster than any weak human should. She struck his arm at a pressure point between his scales. The guard dropped his weapon in surprise. Before he could shout, Jiwu hit him in the throat, hard enough to stun him, but not kill him. He fell to his knees, gasping. Jiwu grabbed his weapon and hit him on the head with it. He collapsed, unconscious. Now she had a problem. An unconscious guard would raise questions. She dragged him to the bed and arranged him to look like he had fallen asleep while checking on her. Then she messed up the bed to make it look like they had fought, and he had won. Jiwu took a deep breath and hit herself in the face. Pain exploded across her cheek. She needed a real injury to make her story believable. Then she began to scream. Kervak burst in, weapon ready. He saw the guard on the bed and Jiwu in the corner, her face bruised. What happened? He demanded. He came in and tried to hurt me. Jiwu sobbed, making herself shake. I fought, but he was too strong. Then he just fell over. Kervak kicked the guard. Wake up, fool. The guard groaned, but didn't wake up. Weak warriors, Kervak growled. Too much drink, not enough discipline. He looked at Jiwu. Did he damage you badly? No, sir, Jiwu whispered. Just my face. Good. I need you healthy for tomorrow. Kervak called 2 other guards. Take this idiot to the brig. He attacked the human without permission. After they dragged the guard away, Kervak locked Jiwu in the room. Try to sleep, small one. Tomorrow will be much worse for you. When he left, Jiwu touched her bruised face. The guard would eventually wake up and tell what really happened. Her cover was starting to break. She needed to move faster. But her message had been sent. Earth would know the Terek's plans. Now she had to keep her people alive until help arrived. As she lay on the bed, Jiwu planned her next steps. The Terek had seen her take down a guard. They would be more careful now, but they still didn't know who she really was. And that was still her greatest weapon. The next morning, all the human prisoners were brought to the main hall. Jiwu saw Captain Park and Commander Lee for the first time in days. They looked tired but not broken. Min-ji limped slightly, and Yum Hae-yun had a cut above her eye. Kervak stood in the center of the room, his armor polished and gleaming. Behind him was the guard from last night, now awake and angry. Humans, Kervak announced, we have been patient, but now that ends. The guard pointed at Jiwu. That one attacked me. She moves faster than she should. Kurvak looked at Ji Woo with new interest. Is this true, small one? Are you more than a serving girl? Ji Woo kept her head down. I was scared. He tried to hurt me. She lies, the guard shouted. She hit me with fighting moves, not fear. Enough. Kurvak raised his hand. It does not matter. Today, your commander will give us Earth's defense codes. He turned to his warriors. Bring the young communications officer forward. Two Tarek grabbed Hae-yun and pushed her to her knees in front of Kurvak. The young woman's eyes were wide with fear, but she didn't cry. This one knows codes, Kurvak said, and she will tell us, or we will start removing parts of her. A Tarek warrior held up a sharp cutting tool. Hae-yun closed her eyes. Stop, Commander Lee shouted. She's just a junior officer. She doesn't know the main defense codes. Kurvak smiled cruelly. Then give me the codes you know, Commander, or watch her suffer. Jae-woo caught Captain Park's eye. She blinked twice. Their signal for immediate action. The captain gave a tiny nod. He understood. I need more time, Commander Lee said, trying to buy seconds. Time is over. Kurvak nodded to the warrior with the cutting tool. Start with her fingers. As the warrior moved toward Hae-yun, Ji-woo made her decision. Her cover was already weakening. Now it was time to show more of what she could do. Ji-woo moved, no longer pretending to be slow or weak. She covered the distance to Hae-yun in 2 quick steps. The Tarek warrior didn't even see her coming. Jae-woo struck him precisely at the joint of his arm. The cutting tool fell from his hand. Ji-woo caught it before it hit the floor. The room went silent with shock. Step away from her, Ji-woo said, her voice no longer soft and frightened. It was clear and commanding. Kurvak stared at her, yellow eyes wide. What is this? In the moment of confusion, Captain Park moved. He slammed his elbow into the face of the guard beside him. Commander Lee kicked another warrior's knee. Minji, despite her limp, headbutted the Tarek holding her. Chaos erupted in the room. The humans were fighting back. Stop them, Kurvak shouted. Jae-woo knew they couldn't win a direct fight. Not yet. They needed to scatter and regroup. She threw the cutting tool at the room's light panel. Sparks flew and the lights went out. Run, she shouted to the humans. Split up. In the darkness, the humans broke free and ran in different directions. The Tarek were stronger, but the humans knew the ship better. Jae-woo grabbed Hae-yun's hand and pulled her toward a side door. Stay with me, she ordered. They slipped through the door as the emergency lights came on. Behind them, Kurvak was roaring with anger. What just happened? Hae-yun gasped as they ran down a corridor. How did you move like that? I'll explain later, Ji-woo said. Right now, we need to get to the maintenance tunnels. They reached a small access panel. Ji-woo opened it quickly and pushed Hae-yun inside. Crawl forward until you reach a junction, then wait for me. Hae-yun disappeared into the dark tunnel. Ji-woo was about to follow when she heard heavy footsteps. 3 Tarek warriors rounded the corner, weapons raised. There she is, one shouted, the small one. Jae-woo stood and faced them. She couldn't run without leading them to Hae-yun. Not so small anymore, she said. The warriors charge. Ji-woo took a deep breath. The time for hiding was over. Now it was time to fight. The 3 Tarek warriors charged at Ji-woo, their heavy boots shaking the floor. They expected an easy fight against the small human female. They were wrong. Ji-woo watched their movements carefully. Tarek warriors were strong but slow. They relied on power, not speed. The first warrior swung his weapon. Ji-woo didn't try to block it. Instead, she stepped to the side and let the heavy club hit the wall. While the warrior was off balance, she struck his elbow joint, the exact spot where scales didn't cover the sensitive nerves. The warrior howled in pain and dropped his weapon. Ji-woo kicked it down the hallway. The second and third warriors attacked together. Ji-woo dropped to the floor and swept her leg under one warrior's feet. He fell hard. The third warrior reached for her, but Ji-woo rolled away and jumped up behind him. She didn't fight like a normal soldier. Her moves were precise and targeted. Every strike hit a weak point in Terek anatomy, points she had studied for years. When the last warrior fell, Ji-woo didn't waste time. She grabbed their communication devices and disappeared into the maintenance tunnel. Hae-yeon was waiting at the junction, eyes wide with shock. "How did you do that?" she whispered. "I saw you take down 3 warriors." Later, Ji-woo said, "We need to move deeper into the ship's systems." They crawled through narrow tunnels that the large Terek couldn't follow. Ji-woo led Hae-yeon to a small maintenance room with access to the ship's ventilation system. "We'll be safe here for now," Ji-woo said. She handed Hae-yeon one of the communication devices. "Can you tap into their channels without them knowing?" Hae-yeon nodded. "That's my job. Communications." She started working on the device. Ji-woo checked the stolen weapons. "I need to find the others. Captain Park and Min-ji need to know the new plan." "What is the plan?" Hae-yeon asked, not looking up from her work. "We take back the ship," Ji-woo said simply, "one Terek at a time." For the next several hours, Ji-woo moved through the ventilation system like a ghost. She found Min-ji hiding in the engine room. "I knew you weren't just an assistant," Min-ji said when Ji-woo dropped from a vent. "No one with your awareness is just anything." "Can you disable their control of our engines?" Ji-woo asked. Min-ji grinned. "Already working on it, but I need access to the main control panel." "I'll clear a path," Ji-woo promised. "Be ready when I call." Next, she found Captain Park in a storage area, helping 3 other crew members. "About time you showed your real skills," he said with a small smile. Ji-woo nodded. "Cover's blown now. Might as well use everything I've got." "What's the situation?" "Terek are searching the ship. They're angry and confused." Ji-woo handed him a weapon. "That works in our favor." Over the next day, strange things began to happen on the ship. Terek warriors would go to check areas alone and never return. Others would find their weapons missing. Some reported seeing a small shadow in the vents, but when they fired at it, nothing was there. Kervak gathered his remaining warriors in the command center. "How can one small human cause so much trouble?" he roared. "Find her." "The crew is saying the ship is haunted," one warrior reported. "5 of our best fighters are missing." "Not missing," another warrior said, pointing to a screen. "Look." The screen showed an image from a security camera. 5 Terek warriors were tied up in a storage room, unconscious but alive. "She's not killing them," Kervak realized. "She's hunting them." In the vents above the command center, Ji-woo watched. Hae-yeon had managed to give her access to all the ship's cameras. Now she could see everything. She spoke softly into a small communicator. "Min-ji, are you ready?" "Ready," came the reply. "Engine controls are almost back in our hands." "Captain Park." "My team is in position," he confirmed. "We've secured the emergency weapons locker." Ji-woo smiled as she watched Kervak grow more frustrated by the minute. The mighty Terek war chief was losing control of the situation, and he knew it. "Commander Lee," Ji-woo asked into her communicator. "Safe and gathering intelligence," came the reply. "What's our next move?" Ji-woo looked down at the angry Terek through the vent grate. "Now we show them what humans can really do." Ji-woo's plan started with the lights. One moment, the command center was bright. The next, complete darkness. "Emergency power," Kervak shouted. But the emergency lights did not come on. Min-ji had made sure of that. In the darkness, Ji-woo dropped from the vent. She moved like water between the confused Terek warriors. They could not see her, but she could see them. Her training had included fighting in complete darkness. By the time a warrior got a portable light working, 3 of his comrades were already on the floor. "There she is," a warrior shouted, pointing the light at Jiwoo. She stood calmly in the center of the room, no longer hiding, no longer pretending to be weak. "How is this possible?" one warrior asked. "She is so small." Kurvak growled. "Size means nothing. She has been deceiving us." He pointed at Jiwoo. "You are no assistant." "No," Jiwoo agreed. "I am not." "What are you?" "I am the one you should have been watching from the beginning." Kurvak signaled, and 3 of his elite warriors stepped forward. They were bigger than the others, with special armor and weapons. "These are my best fighters," Kurvak said. "They have trained since birth in our most deadly combat arts. Now you will see what real warriors can do." Jiwoo did not look worried. "Then I will no longer hold back." The first elite warrior attacked with a roar. He was fast for a Terek, his weapon slicing through the air where Jiwoo had been standing. But she was already moving, sliding under his reach and striking upward at the soft spot under his arm. The warrior staggered but recovered quickly. He was better trained than the others. The second and third elites joined the fight. They moved together, trying to surround Jiwoo. What happened next amazed even Captain Park, who knew what Jiwoo could do. She fought with moves the Terek had never seen. Her body twisted in ways that seemed impossible. She used the warrior's strength against them, making them hit each other. When one swung, she would guide his arm into another's path. "What fighting style is this?" a Terek asked in wonder. "It is not one style," Jiwoo explained as she ducked under a blow. "It is many." She moved between 2 warriors and struck both at the same time. "Earth has thousands of fighting styles. I have studied the ones that work best against Terek physiology." One elite tried to grab her, but Jiwoo bent backward further than seemed possible. Then she sprang up, her foot catching him under his chin. "We studied your bodies for years," she continued, never stopping her movement. "We know where your scales are thinnest, where your nerves are closest to the surface." A warrior swung his weapon at her head. Jiwoo caught it with 2 fingers at a specific point, using the weapon's momentum to swing it back at him. "Your arms cannot bend this way," she demonstrated by twisting one warrior's arm at an angle that made him drop to his knees. "Your back cannot twist like this." She spun away from a blow in a way that made the Terek wince. One by one, the elite warriors fell, not from deadly strikes, but from carefully targeted hits that disabled without killing. When the last elite warrior dropped, Jiwoo stood calmly, hardly breathing hard. The remaining Terek stared in disbelief. This small human female had defeated their best fighters using knowledge they didn't know humans possessed. Kurvak's yellow eyes narrowed. "You were sent to spy on us." "I was sent to protect my people," Jiwoo corrected. "And I have been doing that from the moment I stepped on this ship." A slow clapping sound came from the doorway. Captain Park stood there with Minji, Haeyun, and several other crew members. They all held weapons. "Well done, Special Agent Jiwoo," Captain Park said with a smile. "I think you've made your point." Kurvak looked from the humans to Jiwoo, finally understanding. "She is not an assistant. She is a weapon." Jiwoo shook her head. "Not a weapon, war chief. A warrior. There's a difference." Kurvak drew his personal weapon. "Then let warriors decide this. You and me." Now, the command center became silent. Everyone stepped back to make a circle around Jiwoo and Kurvak. This was now a formal challenge between warriors. Kurvak removed his upper armor, showing his scaled chest. "No weapons," he said, placing his blade on the floor. "Just skill against skill." Jiwoo nodded and took a fighting stance. She looked tiny compared to the Terek war chief. Kurvak stood nearly 7 feet tall, his body covered in thick scales that shimmered under the lights. "You have surprised me, human," Kurvak said. "But you cannot win this fight. I have trained for 200 years. You have lived less than 30. Age and size are just numbers," Jiwoo replied calmly. "What matters is how you use what you have." Kervak moved first, faster than his size suggested. His fist swung toward Jiwoo's head with enough force to break her neck. Jiwoo didn't try to block it. Instead, she moved slightly, letting the fist pass by her ear. Then she struck, not hard, but precisely, at a point on Kervak's extended arm. The war chief grunted in surprise as his arm went numb for a moment. He recovered quickly and attacked again, this time with a series of powerful blows. Jiwoo dodged most and deflected others. She moved around Kervak like a dancer, never staying in one place long enough for him to land a solid hit. "Fight me properly." Kervak growled in frustration. "I am," Jiwoo said, "just not how you expect." She darted in, striking 3 quick blows to different points on Kervak's body. Each hit looked light, almost gentle, but the war chief staggered. "What are you doing to me?" he demanded. "Pressure points," Jiwoo explained. "Your body has them, just like ours. Places where nerves cluster together. Hit them right, and strength doesn't matter." Kervak roared and charged forward. This time he caught Jiwoo's arm. He lifted her off the ground, his face showing triumph. "Now I have you," he said. Jiwoo didn't struggle. Instead, she swung her body up and wrapped her legs around Kervak's neck. Using his own grip as leverage, she twisted her body in a way that forced the war chief to either release her or have his arm broken. He released her, but Jiwoo didn't fall. She clung to his shoulders and struck the base of his skull with the edge of her hand. Kervak dropped to one knee. The watching Terek warriors gasped. No one had ever seen their war chief brought low like this. "Impossible," one whispered. Jiwoo jumped clear and waited as Kervak rose again. He was breathing hard now, his yellow eyes filled with confusion and anger. "How?" he demanded. "How can you know our weaknesses so well?" "Because we studied," Jiwoo said. "While you were planning to invade us, we were learning everything about you. Your biology, your fighting styles, your weaknesses." Kervak attacked again, this time more carefully. He had realized this was not a simple fight. Jiwoo matched him move for move, never using strength against strength, always finding the smart path. As they fought, the ship's communication system suddenly came to life. "Attention **, Harmony **, a voice announced. "This is Captain Song of the Earth Defense Ship ** Protector **. We have you surrounded. Prepare to be boarded." Kervak's eyes widened. "You were stalling," he realized. "Part of the plan," Jiwoo admitted. "My message got through." With a roar of anger, Kervak charged forward for one final attack. He grabbed a fallen weapon from the floor, breaking his own no-weapons rule. Jiwoo was ready. As he swung the weapon, she moved inside his reach. Her hand struck 5 points on his chest and throat in rapid succession. Kervak froze. His body wouldn't respond. The weapon fell from his hand. "What did you do?" he asked, each word a struggle. "Temporary neural disruption," Jiwoo explained. "You'll recover in an hour, just long enough for Earth forces to secure the ship." Kervak fell to his knees, then to the floor. He could not move, but his eyes followed Jiwoo as she stood over him. "You fought well," she told him, "but you made one big mistake." "What mistake?" he managed to ask. Jiwoo smiled slightly. "You judged by appearance. The smallest human on this ship was the one you should have feared most." Commander Lee stepped forward. "Earth ships are boarding. The **Harmony * is ours again." Jiwoo nodded and finally relaxed her fighting stance. The hunt was over. The hidden warrior had won. 3 days after the battle, the **Harmony * docked at Earth's main space station. The Terek prisoners were held in secure areas, treated fairly but watched closely. Earth ships escorted the **Harmony * home, their weapons ready but not fired. Jiwoo stood in a small meeting room, looking out at the stars. Her mission was complete, but she felt strange. For so long, she had hidden her true self. Now everyone knew who she really was. The door opened, and Commander Lee entered with Captain Park. "Our hero," Commander Lee said with a smile. "Earth Defense is very pleased with your work." Jai-Woo bowed slightly. "I was just doing my job, sir." "Your job was outstanding," Captain Park said. "No one has ever taken down a Terek war chief in single combat before." Jai-Woo turned back to the window. "What will happen to them now?" "That's why we're here," Commander Lee said. "The Terek have requested a meeting. They want to talk to you specifically." Jai-Woo raised an eyebrow. "Me? You made quite an impression," Captain Park said, "especially on Kervak." In the station's main conference room, Kervak sat with two other Terek leaders. When Jai-Woo entered, he stood up. This was a sign of respect that surprised everyone. "Warrior Jai-Woo," he said formally, "I have been permitted to speak with you before our return to our world." Jai-Woo took a seat across from him. "I'm listening." Kervak's yellow eyes studied her. "We have been thinking about what happened on your ship, about how one small human defeated our best warriors." "And?" Jai-Woo asked. "And we were wrong about humans," Kervak admitted. "We thought you were weak because you talk of peace, because your strongest warriors do not boast or show their power." Jai-Woo nodded. "On Earth, true strength doesn't need to be displayed all the time." "This is strange to us," Kervak said. "In our world, the strongest always leads. The strongest always shows their power." "And that's why you didn't see me as a threat," Jai-Woo pointed out. "You were looking for obvious strength, not hidden skill." Kervak touched a small scar on his neck where Jai-Woo had struck him. "You could have killed me. Many times. Why didn't you?" "That wasn't my mission," Jai-Woo said simply. "I was there to protect my people, not to destroy yours." The war chief was silent for a moment. Then he reached into a pouch and placed a small metal object on the table. It was a Terek warrior symbol. "You earned this," he said. "No human has ever been given a warrior's mark before." Jai-Woo looked at the symbol but didn't take it. "I don't need a mark to know what I am." Kervak made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Another human surprise. Our warriors fight for marks and status." "We fight to protect," Jai-Woo said. "The best victory is the one where everyone lives." Commander Lee stepped forward. "The Earth Council has made a decision. The Terek will be allowed to return home with a message. We want peace, but we are ready for war if necessary." Kervak stood again. "Tell your council that the Terek have heard this message clearly." He looked at Jai-Woo very clearly. As the Terek prepared to leave, Kervak turned to Jai-Woo one last time. "You humans hide your best warriors among your weakest-looking people. This is clever." Jai-Woo smiled slightly. "Not weak-looking, just different. Strength comes in many forms." "A lesson we have learned at great cost," Kervak admitted. "But perhaps it will lead to something better than war." After the Terek left, Hei-Yun found Jai-Woo in the observation deck. "What will you do now?" Hei-Yun asked. "Everyone knows you're not really an assistant." Jai-Woo watched the Terek ship depart. "I'll get a new cover, a new role. That's what I do." "Will we see you again?" Jai-Woo smiled. "Probably. But you might not recognize me." Captain Park joined them, holding a message from Earth Command. "They want you for a new mission. Something challenging." "Already?" Jai-Woo asked. "The best warriors don't rest long," he said with a smile. Jai-Woo took the message and read it. Then she looked out at the stars where new worlds and new challenges waited. "Good," she said. "I'm ready." The hidden warrior would remain hidden until she was needed again.